guys, so before I start talking and rambling, if rape situations or anything of that sort makes you uncomfortable, click out of the video, exit out now, because I don't want to trigger any feelings for anybody or upset them. But this is a story that I want to tell in my own words that I think needs to be said, and it happened about, it's going to be 3 years ago, I believe, in February. Yeah, so I want to tell it, and I want to tell it my way, and yeah, so I guess this is a story time. So I had met this guy off of Facebook. We had mutual friends, like a lot of my friends knew who he was. They didn't know him personally, but they knew of him. They had him as mutual friends. And he lived in my area, so I figured, okay, let's talk, like he's cute. So we started talking, and initially talking to him, did I have a bad feeling about it? In some aspects, yeah, I did. But I think I had bad feelings about a lot of guys just because I stay on my guard. And since this happened, I'm more on my guard than I've ever been in my entire life. So we would hang out from time to time, and he would always come to the flea market to hang out with me. So my mom saw him and knew who he was, and he just seemed like, you know, somebody that I could spend a lot of time with and get to know, and maybe it would progress into something really well. So I spent that time with him, and I gave him my energy and whatnot. So one night he asks me to come over, and he says, I'll come pick you up. He literally lived like 10 or 15 minutes from me. So he's like, we could just hang out, watch movies. So I thought, okay, sure. So he ended up coming to get me, and we hung out. And at one point we were sitting in his kitchen, and I remember this very, very clearly. And he said, do you want a drink? And I was 19 at the time, and I've told you guys before, I have underage drank when I was underage. So I said, yeah, like I'll have something to drink. Not a lot, and I couldn't tell you honestly what I drank anymore, but it wasn't that much. It was maybe like half a glass of something or other that I drank, like a mixed drink. And it wasn't filled to the top, like I said, it was half of it. I do recall when this happened, I said I had to use the bathroom. So I got up and used the bathroom and came back, drank it, and maybe half an hour to an hour later, I felt not like myself. I knew that I had to be in the house by 10 o'clock. That was always my curfew at that age. So I sat at the table, and I remember things were kind of blurry, and I was slurring a little bit, but not bad. And he said something about going in the bedroom, the spare bedroom, and I don't remember much from there, but I do remember just kind of laying there saying, no, no, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. Stop. No. And again, kind of, I don't know if I blacked out, but I don't remember anything from there. I just remember sitting at his counter looking for my phone charger, saying, I need my phone charger. I need to leave. I need my phone charger. It's late. I need to leave. And his parents walked in the door, and they were belligerently drunk. They were falling all over the place, and I just kept saying, I needed to leave, I need to go, I need to leave. And I was talking to his mom, and I don't remember what I said to her. And we ended up leaving. In the morning when I woke up, I just kind of laid there, and it felt like it was a dream. And that's when I kind of searched and I looked for my cell phone. And at this time I didn't have an iPhone, I had just like a track phone, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I couldn't get a hold of this guy that did this to me, and I don't remember if I went on the Facebook and I was trying to contact him and he wasn't answering me from there. So I ended up adding his brother, and I said, you know, you need to tell your brother to call me now. So eventually, I don't know if I gave him my home phone number, but I did get a phone call from him, and I said, I'm going to be at the flea market. I need you to come here, and I need you to drop off. I think he said he had my underwear at his house and something else. And I said, you need to come drop it off. So when he came and pulled his car up, I said, where's my cell phone? My cell phone's missing. I said, I don't remember anything, like, what is happening? I did remember saying no, though, and I asked him if that happened. And he was like, oh, yeah, but you, like, wanted it. And I was like, no, I remember saying no. I was yelling no. And the side of his car, the inside, had puke everywhere. But it wasn't just like when you throw up and it's like a throw up-y color, if that makes sense to you. It was bright red. Like red. Like, it was disgusting. And I'm not trying to, like, gross anybody out, but it wasn't the color that regular Fruit Loop is, unless somebody put something in your drink, put something in it. And he was trying to convince me that it was what I was drinking, and it was not what I was drinking. It looked like somebody put something in my drink. So I saw that, and it was everywhere all over his car, and I was like freaking out. So I took my stuff and I left. Also, the purse that I used that night that I found, it was my Juicy Couture, had that same color to it too, that I just got sick on it as well. So I knew that was a warning. I was date raped. I immediately knew I was date raped. 2 to 3 days later, the boots that I was wearing that night were thrown in my closet, and my cell phone was smashed. I found my phone in my boot, and it was smashed into pieces. My mom also told me that when I walked in the door, I was slurring my words, and I said that I went to pierce my tongue, and it didn't work. And I don't remember telling her that I just pierced my tongue, and I'm fine. And I got drunk previously when I was 19, sometimes like underage. But I thought maybe too when I was coming out of it that this was just me being drunk. But having half a drink, knowing now as an adult, that's not just being drunk. That's date rape. That was something put in my drink. And I never told anybody, and I never reported it. So that was in February, and the summer came. So that was done with whatever, the summer came. So when the summer came, I had a lot of newfound friends I used to hang out with. And I remember going to my friend's graduation party, and we were all just hanging out where we usually would hang out. And I got a phone call from my mom saying, this guy's at the house. He said his name is so-and-so. And when I heard that name, I knew exactly who he was. And I said, he said, he's your boyfriend. And I said, give me the phone. And I said to him, you stay away from my family. If I hear you hurt my family, you touch my family. And he's like, no, I just have to see you. I have to see you right now. And he's like, tell me where you're at. So to protect my family and not have him near my family, touch my family, he was insane. I found out later on he was an alcoholic, which I'm not saying all alcoholics are insane and crazy people, but if he was drinking or something, I don't know. I didn't want him near my family. That was bottom line. So I told him where I was at, which was totally unsafe at the time, and he came there. I told my friends what was going on too. So when he came, he was telling me that he was going to rehab, and he wanted to hear me say before he left that he did not rape me. And I refused to say that because he raped me. It was the most scariest moment of my life because I stood in front of the guy that raped me and date raped me and hurt me, and I crumbled. I sat down in the parking lot and cried. I couldn't even look at him in the eye. I just sat and cried my eyes out. And I remember my one guy friend coming down and saying, is there a problem here? And they started like getting concerned because I couldn't even move. I had my friend holding me because I was shaking. And he was like, I want to hear you say it. And I stood up to him, which makes me really proud of myself. And I said, no, you hurt me. You date raped me. You raped me. Rape is rape. And I said, and I'm not to blame for this, and I would refuse to blame myself. And that's when he took his fist and he punched his car door and his window. And my friends started coming down from the hill where they were at and said, you know, you need to leave now. You're hurting our friend. You need to leave now. So he ended up saying that he'd come back for me later on and threatening me out the window, and he ripped out and left. That was the last time I heard from him. And for the longest time as a person, I could not in any way forgive this person. I couldn't say sorry to them. And now I just want to say, you know what? I have them blocked on Facebook. I will not message them. But I'm sorry that you felt like you had to do that to me. And I forgive you. I forgive you. And I don't mean I'm sorry, like I did anything to them, but I feel sorry for you and I forgive you, because that shouldn't happen to anyone. And for the longest time, and I think that's the reason why I'm single and why I get scared and just somebody's gonna do that to me again, because when it happens once, you know, it's frightening, and they really did ruin me as a person in a lot of aspects, and I would never wish that upon anyone. And that's why I kind of wanted to make the video. I just want to give insight to just be careful of your surroundings. Do not leave your drink alone. Ever. And just be cautious, because you never know when something like this could happen to you. So, thank you guys for watching if you did. And again, as usual, social media, everything is down below for you to subscribe or follow me on social media. And if you guys do want to talk about this in the comments below, I will answer any questions that you want, because I do have other very, very personal stories like this to me that I will be telling at one point in time. I just don't know when. And today I woke up and I was talking on YouNow about this last night, and today I just felt ready to tell you. So thank you guys all for watching, and I love you so very, very much. Bye.